What is going on? Beautiful people. So good to be here once again. And today, the reason why I'm making this video is very important. The reason why I'm making this video is because I have found the solution. The solution that I've been looking for and that I feel like everybody's been looking for, having to do with everything that's going on in the world, with the Black Lives Matter protests and everything else that's just going on, all the disharmony that's going on. I have located the solution after much reflection and looking for it and meditating. And so what I want to share here in this live is the solution to this disharmony of what's happening in the world and what everyone is experiencing, from the Black Lives Matters protests to everything else that's going on. I want to share the solution to those things in a very practical way. And I will also be leading you through an experience so that you can embody the solution. Because this has everything to do with forgiveness. And this clicked for me in a very deep and profound way, because everyone, or many of you, know about the power of forgiveness. You know about love and forgiveness. You know about unity. And you know that these are necessary and essential things to creating the changes and shifts that we wish to see in the world. It's the application of it that can escape people at times, and myself. And so where this came from, what I want to share first, because I've been very active in the whole Black Lives Matter movement, and just being a world speaker and showing up on different platforms and offering my voice and guidance and clarity and whatever solutions I can offer. And so being a part of this so much, and also feeling the pain of what's going on in the world and inside myself, of the grief and the injustice and all these things, takes a toll. No matter who you are, it takes a toll. It hurts. And so I was reflecting on, what is the solution? Yes, we're doing the protests in the street, and protests are proven to be a great way of causing change. Yes, there's petitions, and yes, there's this, that, and the other. But I was just reflecting deeper, and I'm like, it feels like we're fighting our way up a pyramid, and so I'm like, there has to be a more simple solution. And so first, what I reflected on was, I'm like, well, who is it that needs to be spoken to? It was interesting to me how there's one voice, or a collective of people, a small collective of people, who can say one command, and all of a sudden the entire planet is in quarantine. Go to your room, right? The one collective, a small collective of people, can say one thing, leak it through the media outlets and the governments and this, that, the other, and the whole planet, 8 billion people, are in quarantine. I mean, I don't know if all 8 billion are in quarantine, but you get my point, right? And so I started to reflect on, I'm like, okay, well then who are those people? How do we speak to them? And so I'm looking for solution, basically. And then I decided to go inside, and I decided to speak to Thoth. I hadn't spoken to Thoth in a while, and I hadn't spoken to Thoth in a while about this. And for those of you who don't know, Thoth is an ascended master. He's a being of light, but I'm not going to go too deep into that. You can look at him as a light being, if it helps. I've been working a lot with the angels lately, and that's what's been helping me navigate these times. But I decided to speak to Thoth. And Thoth said something that was incredibly powerful that I did not think of, at least not to this subtlety, not to this degree. I'm going to read exactly what he said through me. I wrote it down. What he said was, you cannot create unity. You can only shift into where unity exists. Let go of wrestling with the reflection, of trying to change things on the outside. Shift your state of being fully. Let the pain go. It is karma that is not yours. You attracted it through your own pain and grief so that you can see where you're still holding on, where you're still holding on to pain and grief inside of you. That's what the whole planet is doing. It is the eye of the needle. We are learning to go through the eye of the needle. I'll explain what that is in a second. And then he goes on to say, let go of your baggage so you can make it through. Forgive. Thoth. So it was an extremely powerful message. It was an extremely powerful message because it really put into perspective to me things that I already knew, but in a way that I could shift into and embody more powerfully, especially that beginning line of, you cannot create unity. You can only shift into where unity already exists. Stop fighting with the reflection. The outer world is a reflection. Stop fighting with the reflection, trying to get justice here and serve change here. You're focusing on the reflection when it's the state of being that manifests the reflection. And so when he was speaking about the eye of the needle, what the eye of the needle is, it's a kind of metaphor, an energetic metaphor, if you will, that points to how what's going on around us in 2020 is a chaos of a storm. Imagine a tornado that's just spinning around you. It's just emotional mess. It's an emotional storm. There's just a huge storm going on around you, and the safest space to stand during a tornado when it's around you is the eye of the storm, is in the center, being centered in your being, not giving into the emotional chaos and around you. And the way out of the storm is through the eye of the needle, what seems to be a very small eye that you pass through, but in fact, when you go through, it's not as small as it looked. And so what's being said here is that in order to pass through the eye of the needle, forgiveness is required. Now, what's meant by that is, as long as we are holding on to emotional baggage, such as injustice, rage, resent, then as we're making our way up the tornado towards the eye of the needle, those emotions will pull us towards the wall of the storm. Injustice, we're going to want to fight the reflection. It's just the nature of that emotional reality. Again, this is an analogy. And so forgiveness, what forgiveness really is being willing, beyond being willing. It's letting go of the pain you're carrying so that you can be free, so that you can experience liberation. It's letting go of the pain of injustice, of shame, of resent. It's not so much about forgiving the outside world, the others. It's about self-forgiveness, forgiving yourself for not knowing any better, that you were acting on injustice, that you were acting on rage. It's forgiving yourself and releasing it. It's giving yourself the feelings you're looking for, forgiving yourself those things. This is the passing through the eye of the needle. So with that said, soon I'd like to lead you guys through something, because my intention in coming on this live was really planetary healing. I've been doing healing work for a very long time. I developed a modality called soul medicine, which is a method of permanently alleviating emotional wounds and trauma. It is the path of forgiveness. Where is forgiveness most wanting to happen in your heart? So the reason why I say that this is the solution, where I finally found the solution, because the solution is not to create unity, but to shift into where unity already exists. Because the idea of creating unity is coming from the vibrational standpoint of a lack of unity, which means you can only manifest more lack of unity, right? Shifting into unity is the solution. It's healing the war that's happening inside of us. This is Michael Jackson. No message could have been any clearer, so I'm starting with the man in the mirror, right? This is what is meant by these things. Now, what is tricky for some people is the application. So that's what we're going to be walking through here, is how do you apply this? How do you heal the war inside yourself? How do you heal the separation inside yourself? How do you forgive yourself so that you could come into unity inside of yourself. You come into wholeness. You could shift into where unity already exists so that you'll be able to shift into the reality, the parallel reality, the version of Earth, whatever word you want to use, where unity is more prominent. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into the multidimensional stuff because what I care about right here is the solution. All right. Before I go into my offering for you guys, I'm just checking in and making sure if there's anything else that I want to share on that's important, because this is a really big piece. Everybody's looking for that justice. You know, there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of rage, and I have a lot to say about this stuff that isn't ready to be said yet. But right now, what I want to do, my intention is I want to bring more peace. I want to bring more healing inside of you, beyond Black Lives Matter, inclusive of and beyond. All right, this is about healing that war inside of you. And my wish, my prayer is that if you feel this, if this serves you, if this helps you, please share this video. I would love for the whole world to receive this medicine. You know, so whether that's the like buttons or comments, this isn't for me. I'm really hoping this gets to the planet, but you don't need to do any of that now. Let me just be of service to you. Okay. So what I'd love for you to do, in the interest of assisting you in shifting into greater unity inside yourself and finding greater peace inside yourself amongst the Black Lives Matter movement and beyond, inclusive of and beyond, in the interest of helping you shift into greater unity, I first want you to set that intention for yourself before we begin anything. If you'd like to receive this medicine, I'd like you to set the intention for yourself that I would like to shift into more unity. I'm ready to shift into more unity, and I'm ready to find forgiveness for the spaces inside of me which require forgiveness of self. You might even perhaps ask yourself, where is forgiveness most wanting to happen in your heart? Where do you feel pain? Where do you feel grief? Where do you feel resent, anguish, injustice? And can you recognize that forgiveness, where you're feeling that pain in your heart, forgiveness is the energy that will release those things. Forgiveness is the stoppage of karma. Karma is just another word for emotional baggage or emotional inertia. It is the emotional inertia of injustice that has a momentum that has you experience reflections of so much injustice, right? It's because the carrying of the injustice frequency inside of you will lead to a momentum of manifestations of injustice scenarios amongst police, amongst government, amongst so on and so forth, amongst relationships. It is that karma that is causing that. That is the war. Forgiveness is the releasing of that karma. That is forgiveness. And so my question to you is, where is forgiveness most wanting to happen in your heart? Just feel. And as we step into this, I call forth and call upon all the highest angels to be of service with me in this space, calling upon the light of Source, the light of God, all the ascended masters, guides, and teachers who are here to be in service of the highest good for all involved. I call on you for your support and service in being able to assist me to allow this medicine to get through to the people, to get through to the planet, to get through to the world, so that they may receive this gift of love and forgiveness, so that they may be alleviated and released of this torment and war inside of them. Please guide me as we guide them through this. Thank you. Now, as the whole squad is here, if you'd like to receive this medicine and you are ready to alleviate that torment, that war inside yourself, and to bring forgiveness into your heart so that you can shift into unity, here's what I ask that you do. First, take a moment to sit comfortably, to be intentional. Turn off your cell phone. Set the space in such a way so that you can receive all that's coming for you and all the different frequencies. We want you to receive things full spectrum, fully, so you can feel the greatness of this loving gift, this medicine. So set your space, set your intention, turn off your phones, just for this moment. And what we'd like you to do, what I'd like you to do, is I want you to simply feel in your hearts where forgiveness is most wanting to happen. Feel where you have pain or grief inside your heart. Doesn't matter what it's caused by, whether it's because it's what's going on in the world, or if it's amplified by that, or it's something else. Feel in your heart where there is pain, where there is grief, where there is anguish. Feel that. With your eyes closed, feel that. Just feeling it. You're not resisting it. You're not judging it. You're just giving it attention. Loving attention. Same way you would a crying child. Now, as you feel that pain inside your heart, the grief, whatever it might be, I want you to notice the shape and size of that pain inside of you. Notice the shape and size of that pain inside of you. Feel it, feel the texture of it. And then if you want, you can even give it a color and notice its color. Simply so that you can be even more aware of the full sensory experience of this pain. Noticing the shape of it, the size of it, the color of it. Feel the pain and grief and whatever else is in there, where forgiveness is most wanting to come in. Then, as you do this and you let yourself feel this fully, no resistance, no resistance. Let yourself feel it fully. As you feel it fully, the pain and the grief, I want you to notice and observe where this pain was caused for you. What memory? What moment in time? Where was this pain caused for you? What moment in time? And again, it's important that you let yourself feel this pain with no resistance and no judgment to it. I'm emphasizing this because I could feel a few of you kind of dancing around it. I want you to feel it fully. Hold space for it. Be a home for it. Be the loving attention that it needs for it to blossom into the gifts of truth that it really is. Because that pain is actually potential. It is actually power. It is actually a gift. Feel it fully. And then notice, there you go, much better. And then notice where that pain was caused. Where in your life? What timeline? What memory? I want you to notice where the pain was caused. And just observe that memory. Whether you choose to re-experience and relive that memory as if it's happening again right now, for the purpose of better understanding it. Or whether you observe the memory from a more outside perspective does not matter. What we most care about is that you feel the memory and everything going on inside of it, so you can really feel the full spectrum of that emotion and what's going on inside. No resistance. And so as you notice where this memory comes from and where this pain was caused, now what I want you to do is I want you to realize, through observing this memory, perhaps from the outside perspective, as if you're watching it on a TV screen, from a more neutral perspective, I want you to notice what are the gifts in this memory that you did not realize. For example, if you feel like you got hurt or betrayed or were unjustly treated in this memory, notice how you going through that thing also shifted and aligned you. It gave you more clarity in certain ways. It gave you certain gifts. It taught you the importance of certain things. For each and every one of you, this will be different, what those things are. But for each and every one of you, going through this taught you the gift of certain things. It served a higher purpose. What are those gifts? How did it make you a more amazing person? For example, seeing my dad beat my mom and cause so much pain, I've learned to be extremely grateful for, because seeing my dad do that to my mom taught me how to be the man that I am. It made me so greatly care about being the best man I could possibly be, of wanting to grow myself. It taught me the importance and the value and the gifts in growing yourself and being the best man I could possibly be. And so there was so much gift from that pain that I wasn't able to see when I was a child. But now looking back, I could see all the gifts, and I could even feel grateful that those things happened. Because had it not happened, I wouldn't have received those gifts. It wouldn't have served that purpose. And even further than that, had it not happened, had I not been hurt in that way, I would have become a man just like my father, because I looked up to him. And I would have become the version of who he was back then. A womanizer and just all kinds of things that I don't stand for. So what I'm inviting you to do here is to see the gifts in the pain. What did it teach you the importance of? How did it help you become a better person? Why are you excited and grateful that these things happened? What did it gift you with? And what you can also explore is, who would you have become had this pain not happened? What direction would you have gone? And I guarantee you, if you observe things in that way, you'll see that you would have become a person that you wouldn't want to be right now. So it's important for this part that you see the gifts in the pain that was caused in the perceived bad moment, which is truly a gifting moment. So I'm going to give you a few moments, because everyone does this at different speeds, to see the gifts in the pain. This is the understanding of the higher purpose, how it taught you more clarity, how it gave you more discernment, how it made you more expressive, how it put you more in touch with God and the divine, how it made you more loving and sensitive and considerate, how it opened your heart more, how it put you in tune with your gifts. Whatever those things are for you, I want you to fully absorb and notice the gifts until the point where you feel extremely grateful for what happened. Where you're just like, wow, I didn't even realize that I got all those gifts from that moment. Thank you. This is actually amazing. This is actually amazing when I see the higher purpose. And once you can feel that, once you can feel that understanding and the gifts, and you have the gratitude genuinely from a place of your heart, then what I want you to do is to Allow yourself to step into and embody acceptance. Accept that that needed to happen, that that was what it was, and that it's okay that those things happened because you got these gifts. That's what's so amazing about it. You can fully accept that that moment, that that pain needed to happen so you can receive these gifts. And so take a moment to feel wholehearted acceptance for what happened, with the gratitude of knowing that you got all these gifts from it. Take a moment to feel that fully, no rush, until you feel your shine, until you feel yourself ignite more and you recognize it's true. It really was a great thing, even though it didn't seem like that when I was younger. I can see things better through wiser eyes now. And I can feel that acceptance now. And then once you feel that acceptance and you can feel that shine lighting up even more and you truly feel that acceptance, the most important step now is to forgive. To give yourself forgiveness. To forgive yourself for not knowing any better because you simply didn't realize. To forgive yourself is to give yourself the feelings that you're truly looking for. Liberation, freedom, justice. For the only justice is love. So give yourself forgiveness now. Allow forgiveness to enter your hearts, and we will assist with this. We will amplify the frequencies, whether you're watching live or on the replay. Feel forgiveness permeating your heart as you forgive yourself for just not realizing these things. You just didn't know any better, and that's okay. You weren't supposed to know better. You were meant to realize right now. That's why you're realizing. And that's why you can let go of that pain, because it doesn't serve you. It just keeps you in injustice, which does not serve the purpose that you're here for, which is liberation. So you can give yourself that liberation through giving yourself that forgiveness. Do that now. I'm going to give you a few moments to do this as everyone moves at their own speed. But feel the light of forgiveness enter your heart and free you from the chains of your emotions. Feel the light of forgiveness enter your heart and feel how that feels to forgive yourself. It matters not that you forgive the outside world, because when you forgive yourself, as a side effect, you will have automatically forgiven the outside, because you will be in a different vibration. You will be coming from a space of liberation and love, and that is the ultimate forgiveness. For you are forgiveness. Forgiveness is who you are. You are forgiveness, you are light, you are love. It is who you are. That is your liberation. You are liberation. Very good. And so as you give yourself that forgiveness and you feel yourself lighting up and you feel the changes happening in your body, feel yourself releasing that old baggage, those old patterns that are no longer you, that are no longer required, that don't even feel resonant with the being that you are right now in this moment. You're a completely different person with a completely different past and future now. In fact, after you have forgiveness, now that you have forgiveness in you, if you've completed this and you've embodied it, I want you to notice now, if you were to go and look back at that old memory where you used to feel pain, notice how you feel now. Notice how you feel lighter and more empowered. And notice how amazing that is, because all you did was shift into where there's unity inside of you. You healed the war inside yourself. And you can review any memory that used to be linked to that baggage, to that pain, and notice how you feel now. Notice how you respond and behave differently, how you feel lighter. And most importantly, I want you to go ahead and to imagine the future and imagine yourself bringing this light into the future, bringing this love, bringing this forgiveness into the future, into all circumstances where all kinds of things can arise, but you choose to embody love and forgiveness. Notice the ripple effect. Notice the expansion, notice the peace, notice the harmony. Notice that this is the unity in which we are seeking for. This is the solution. This is the way through the eye of the needle into wholeness, into harmony, into unity. This is the solution. It is love and forgiveness. Father, forgive them, they know not what they do, is not just speaking about the outside people and oppressors, it's also speaking to your own emotions. Your injustice emotions don't know what they're doing. Your resentful emotions don't know what they're doing. Father, forgive them, they know not what they do. I forgive myself. I release that. I'm not even a religious person. I've never even read the Bible, but that quote has been coming around in my space and it just feels so powerful. And I get it. I resonate with it. So this has nothing to do with religion. This is purely love. And so my invitation to you is just to continue to bring this energy forward into this space, to embody forgiveness, to be forgiveness. There is no us versus them. There's only us. That's it. We are the human race. We are one body. We are the universe. All right? So bring this forward with you. Take time to embody this forgiveness energy, because it's not about just giving forgiveness as a powerful move. It's that you are forgiveness. I hope that this served you. I hope that this was helpful and that it allowed you to release the pain that you have in your heart so that you can rise into unity, shift into unity, recognizing that there's no unity to create because it's already existing inside of you. This is the shifts that we need on the planet. This is the shift that every single movement needs, whether it's Black Lives Matter or it's Cows' Lives Matter. This is the shift. It is forgiveness. It is love. It is shifting into unity so that we start thinking and approaching things from a unity perspective way. Because there is no changing the minds of others, forcefully changing the minds of others. That's going to be a long battle. You're fighting against a reflection. But you can shift your own mind and shift your own inner world. That's starting with the man in the mirror. All right. So I hope this was helpful, because this has been really helpful for me. And I actually, in fact, still need to go and fully immerse myself in the forgiveness, because I still feel there's more for me to explore and bathe in that. And I was called to gift this over here. And so I will be embodying it even more so. And I'm sure more emanations will come out from that. But this is my service for now. I'll take a look at the questions real quick. I can't stay on too long because I do have a client soon. And again, please, if this helped you, if this served you, and you feel naturally inspired, I would really love for you to share this message, to share this video on whatever platform you have, or news outlet, Reddit, anything that you feel would help get this medicine out there. If that feels right to your heart and soul, not because I'm asking you to do it, but if that feels right for you, please go ahead and do so, because I would love for everybody to receive this solution. It's time. Checking out your questions now. If you didn't feel, Haley's asking, if you didn't feel ready to forgive something, is that all right? Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no rush in forgiveness. It's not about a means to an end. However, if there's not a readiness to forgive, it's simply because you still haven't fully understood the purpose that the pain caused, of why it was actually an amazing thing that that pain happened to you. You haven't fully immersed yourself in the gifts so that you can be like, wow, I'm actually really grateful that that happened. Because only once the gratitude is there, only once you can truly be grateful for and be happy about the perspectives that you gained and the gifts that you got through that moment, only once that happens will you be able to give yourself forgiveness easily, because you'll be already shifted into the higher vibration and you'll recognize the truth. You'll recognize the purpose beyond the pain. All right. So if you weren't ready to give forgiveness to yourself, then take more time to wholeheartedly understand the gifts in the pain, what it taught you, how it made you a better person. You know, again, I like to give the example of me and my father, because that caused me a lot of pain. I saw him hurt my mom. He lied to me. There was just a lot of pain, like a lot of people experience. And he's not a bad person. He's not a bad person at all. I love my father. This was the moment. This was back then. This is where we were in life, right? And I had a lot of resent. And so I had to take time to wholeheartedly give my full attention, no rush, no speed, to seeing, okay, what did this teach me the importance of? How did this make me a better person? Why was this an amazing thing? What did this gift me with? Oh, wow, I didn't see that. I didn't see that it made me a better man, that it gave me these qualities, that this, that, the other, and that had this not happened, I would have become like him. Once you truly feel that in your heart and you give that to yourself, then you have the understanding, which will lead you to being able to accept that this needed to happen, and then lead you to forgive. For those are the 3 steps to permanently releasing karma, emotional baggage. Understand, accept, forgive. Understand the gifts so that you can accept what happened peacefully and joyfully, and then forgive yourself. Okay? Beautiful. Just looking at your questions, and let me know how that went for you guys. This is my first time. You know, normally this is something I do one-on-one or maybe even in a small group, but this is we're doing it live. So I would love to know how the soul medicine landed for you guys. I've been wanting some extra guidance to feel and release. So grateful that you are doing this live. I'm ready to transmute so much love to you all, and so much love to you, David Lyon, and our creator. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And thank you for being here. Thank you, each and every one of you, for being here live or on the replay, because that means you're willing to receive. That means you're willing to receive love. That means you're willing to expand. And that means you're here for the goodness and the greater good of the planet. So thank you. Thank you for being here. All right. Perfect. So I'm going to be jumping off soon. I see that some of you tuned in late, as I do these lives very spontaneously. If you tuned in late, you're definitely going to want to rewatch from the beginning, because this was all about the solution to what's going on in the world and what's going on inside yourself, and navigating you towards embodying that solution so you can experience the solution. All right. So we give the transmission and we give the medicine so that you can have the shift, so you can shift into unity. And that's it, guys. So hope this was helpful. I really, really do. My heart felt very called to share this. And thank you to all the angels and guides that were with me in making this offering, in creating this space and offering this love and this gift. I appreciate you guys. And again, please go ahead and share this if that feels right for you. If you feel resonant resonance with getting this message out there so that more people could receive the medicine. All right. I love you guys. Peace.